Nowadays, most of us watch videos in a way that does not help us to make progress and improve our lives, and nor does it help us to expand our knowledge. We end up forgetting most of what we watch, we are not able to see any significant progress, and overall we just keep on wasting hours and hours of our precious time that we can't get back. But luckily, there's a way to watch videos in a more productive way, a way that can help you to remember most of what you watch, a way that can help you to focus and concentrate on videos a lot better, and a way that can help you to actually make progress and improve your life. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to do that in 3 simple steps. But before that, there are 3 big mistakes that we need to fix, because if we don't fix them, it's going to be very hard for us to focus and concentrate on videos. It's going to be very hard for us to make progress, and it's going to be overall very hard for us to get the most out of videos. So first of all, let's start with mistake number 1. Now, in doing this first mistake, you might think that you're being productive, but what's actually happening is that it sort of ruins your focus and attention, and it becomes very hard for you to understand the video very well, and you just keep on forgetting a lot of what you watch. And this is usually when you multitask when you're watching a video. But there are like good ways of doing it, and there are also bad ways of doing it. For example, good ways can be things that don't require a lot of mental effort. For example, things such as walking or cleaning the dishes while you are watching a video. But what I'm talking about are those things that require more mental effort, like things such as replying to an email, or maybe things such as working on a project or editing a video. These type of things require more mental effort, right? So when you are watching a video and when you're doing these type of things, you're spreading your attention to different sides, and instead of actually getting both of those things done, you end up not getting anything done properly, right? So it's sort of like that quote, the hunter who chases 2 rabbits catches none. So instead of focusing your attention to different sides, first of all, focus on the video that you're watching. Just cut off all the other distractions and try your best to understand the video well. Concentrate on the video, try to understand it well. You can ask yourself questions like, how can I use this advice into improving my life? How can I turn this advice into actionable steps? And just focus on one thing, get it done, and then move on to the other. Now, the second mistake is also one of those mistakes that you might think that you're being productive, but what you're actually doing is that you're wasting a lot of time and you're not making any progress. And for example, let's say that you have something very hard and important that you need to get done, but you sort of trick your mind into thinking, if I watch a set of videos related to this, I'll be able to do this work a lot better. But what you're actually doing is that you're delaying the work that you have to get done. You watch one video and then you sort of think, oh, you know what, I'm just going to watch another, and you keep on watching another and another. And by the time you're done with watching all those videos, you're just too exhausted to actually do the work, right? You're just delaying the whole process by procrastinating. Now, another thing is that we also like to watch these self-improvement videos, because when we watch them, we feel great, we feel like we are actually doing something, it motivates us. But what's actually happening is that when we keep on watching a lot of these things, we are not actually improving, we are not making any progress, right? If you might feel like you're making progress, you might feel like you're doing something productive in your day, but what you're actually doing is you're just watching a bunch of videos and not doing anything, right? So you need to apply those lessons into your life and actually take action in order to improve your life. Now, the last thing that makes it very hard for us to get the most out of videos is when we just simply watch a video from beginning to end passively. We just simply watch and listen to the video. And the problem with this approach is that we are not taking in that information with much critical thinking or deep processing. So when we don't process that information very well, we are far more likely to forget that. So instead of passively watching videos, here are 3 simple steps that can help you to remember most of what you watch and actually use that advice you get from the videos to put it into action and improve your life. Now, instead of passively watching videos, the better way to watch videos is to actively watch them. When you actively watch videos, you're able to focus and concentrate on the videos a lot better, and you're also far more likely to remember a lot of what you watch. And to do this, first of all, when you're watching the video, make sure that you have a notebook with you, right? When you're watching the video, take notes. You don't have to take notes on every single thing, just take notes on important parts and parts that you resonate with. And when you're taking notes, try to take notes in your own words, because when you try to take notes in your own words, first of all, you need to understand the thing well, right? When you try to understand it well, you deeply process that information, and when you deeply process something, you are far more likely to remember it. So try your best to take notes in your own words. And the other thing is that when you write things down, it's also known to strengthen the memory pathways in your brain. Now, the second thing is that when you're watching a video, as I mentioned earlier, try to think of ways that you can apply these lessons into your life, and think of ways that you can turn these lessons into actionable steps. And if there's something like a complex part where you are not really able to turn that into an actionable step, then you can take those notes that you got and put it onto an AI software and ask the AI software to turn those things into actionable steps. Now the next thing is that when you're watching a video like a tutorial video, let's say that you want to learn how to create a Notion template or something like that. So one of the things that we do is that we download a lot of these videos and we keep on watching them without actually doing the thing, right? But when we after we finish watching them and when we start actually doing the thing, we have forgotten a lot of what we have watched, right? So we have to go back again and watch them and do it, right? So a better way to do this is to do it while you're watching, right? When you're watching the video, like step by step, when the other person is showing how to do it, try to practice at the same time, and this way you'll be able to improve a lot faster and you'll be able to remember most of what you watch. Now one of the things that I like to do is that I like to go on walks while I'm listening to a podcast or an audiobook, and I think some of you like to do it as well. But one of the mistakes that we can do when doing this is to not have a way to store ideas that we get. We get these really good ideas, right? We are on a book, we get these really good ideas. It can be an idea on how to solve a problem in your life, or an idea to like for a product or something like that. If you're not able to store these ideas, we are far more likely to forget this, right? So it's far better if you have a way to store these ideas. Make sure that you have like your notepad on or Notion on, so that you can store these ideas and later on think about them. Now, although taking notes can be very useful for us to understand something well and to remember things well, it's not really enough for us to change our lives, right? We need to take action in order to change our lives. So once you're done, after taking those notes, once you're done with that, make sure that you make a plan on how you're going to use those lessons and how you're going to use those advice. And if it's required, try to give yourself a time frame, like how long you're going to be doing it, whether it's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and also block out time in your calendar on which day you're going to do it, or which set of days you're going to do it, and at which time you're going to do it. And most importantly, make sure that you put that advice into action. Now there's also a very crucial step that you need to take after step number 2, and without it, it can be very hard for you to move ahead from these different obstacles and failures in your path. And the reason for that is because we do these mistakes unknowingly while we are doing something, and if we don't fix these mistakes, it's going to be very hard for us to move forward. So you need to have a way to track your progress and to reflect on the previous week. So once a week has gone by, just pick a date. Maybe it can be like Sunday. So once Sunday comes, try to journal and write down the things that are going well and the things that didn't go well, and try to come up with the reasons to why it didn't go well. What is the mistake that you're doing? And once you identify the mistake that you're doing, try to write down different ways on how you can fix that mistake. And once you fix that mistake, you'll be able to do a lot more better, right? You'll be able to move forward. Think of failures as lessons in disguise. When you keep on failing, instead of giving up, try to identify the reason that you're failing and try to identify the mistake that you're doing. And once you identify that, try to come up with ways to fix it. And once you fix that specific thing, you'll be able to get a lot more stronger than before, and you'll be able to move forward.